Good morning, students. Today in this video we will study about the inflorescence. So before studying this inflorescence, we should know about how the formation of flower takes place. So what is flower? A flower is a modified reproductive suit wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. So actually flower is what? So flower is a characteristic feature of angiospermic plant. So there are five different divisions of plant kingdom, that is Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperm, Angiosperm. So out of these five different divisions of plant kingdom, in which division we will see the presence of flower over plant? So angiospermic. So angiosperm, they will show the presence of flower. So actually this flower is a modified reproductive suit of a plant, where the shoot apical meristem they changes to floral meristem. So normally how the formation of flower takes place? So these are the different nodes from where the leaves are arising. So in this diagram you can see that these are the nodes from where the leaves they are arising. So during the formation of flower, what will happen? So condensation of nodes will take place. So these nodes they will get condensed. The internode elongation will not take place. So this internode elongation, it will not take place. So these nodes they will get condensed, and finally this apical, that shoot apical meristem, it will change to flower. That floral meristem, it will change to floral meristem, and formation of flower takes place. So in a typical flower we can see there are four different structures present. For example, that calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So from one of the node, the calyx they will arise. From the next node, that corolla will arise. From that next node, androecium will arise, and finally the topmost node from where the gynoecium will arise. So how the formation of flower takes place? So first of all, that shoot apical meristem, it will transform into floral meristem, and second thing which will happen is that internode elongation will not take place. So these nodes, it will get condensed, and from one node sepals will arise, from the next node petals will arise, and from the next node androecium, and finally gynoecium will arise, and it will leads to the formation of flower. So what is the difference between sepal and calyx? So one single unit is known as one sepal, and all the sepals of a flower is collectively known as calyx. So this is the difference between calyx and sepal. Similarly, what is difference between a petal and corolla? So one single brightly colored wing like structure is known as petal, and all the petals of a flower, suppose any flower is consist of 5 petals, so all the 5 petals of a flower is collectively known as corolla. So petal is a unit of corolla. Now androecium, so one single structure. So here one single structure, that male reproductive structure, is known as stamen, and stamen consists of two parts, anther and filament. So one single unit is known as stamen, but all the stamen of a flower is collectively known as androecium. So how many androecium you can see in this diagram? So there are 6 different androeciums are given. Similarly, the carpel, so this particular structure is a carpel, which is the female reproductive part of flower. So if there will be one carpel, or if there will be suppose many carpels, then one single unit is known as carpel, and all the carpels of a flower is known as gynoecium. So what are the different parts of carpel? Carpel consists of 3 different parts, that is stigma, style and ovary. So these are the different parts of a typical flower. So a typical flower consists of how many parts? A typical flower consists of four different parts: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So if we will observe any flower from the top position, then we will notice that these floral appendages, they will appear or they will arise in a whorl like manner. Whorl means circle like manner. So on the outermost whorl, that calyx will remain present. Just next to the outermost layer, corolla will be present, and the innermost layer will be occupied by gynoecium, and just next to the innermost layer, androecium will be present. Now in this slide it is given how the formation of flower takes place. So internodes do not elongate and the axis gets condensed. The apex produce different kinds of floral appendages laterally at successive nodes instead of leaves. So from the leaves, from the nodes instead of leaves, the different floral appendages will arise and it will give rise to a flower. So when a shoot tip transform into a flower, it is always solitary. So whenever a shoot tip will be transformed into flower, so it will give rise to solitary flower. What is the meaning of solitary flower? So a single flower, if only single flower will arise from the stem, then it is known as solitary flower. Just like in this diagram you can see, so there is only one single flower is originating from the stem. So such type of flower is known as solitary flower. But our topic is to discuss inflorescence. So what is inflorescence? Arrangement of flower on the floral axis is termed as inflorescence. So if there will be only single flower, then we can't say this as an inflorescence. So for inflorescence there must be more than one flower should be present on the floral axis. So what is the meaning of this floral axis? So floral axis means that part of the stem where the flowers will originate from. So that is structure is known as floral axis. So simply we can say that flowers, they will remain present over the floral axis. So I hope that this definition of inflorescence is clear to you. So the arrangement of flowers on the floral axis is termed as inflorescence. So this is the diagram of inflorescence. So in this diagram you can see that many flowers, they are present on a floral axis. So this arrangement of flowers on floral axis is known as inflorescence. Now what are the different types of inflorescence? So mainly there are two different types of inflorescence. First one is racemose type of inflorescence and second one is cymose type of inflorescence. So on what basis we have categorized this racemose and cymose type of inflorescence? So on the basis of floral axis. So here it is written, depending on whether the apex gets developed into a flower or continue to grow, two major types of inflorescence are defined, racemose and cymose. So on what basis we have categorized racemose and cymose type of inflorescence? On the basis of the growth of floral axis. So if the floral axis, if the growth of floral axis will be unlimited, then it will be racemose type of inflorescence. If the growth of floral axis will be limited, means the tip of the floral axis, it will terminates into flower, then it will be cymose type of inflorescence. So one by one we will discuss in detail about what is racemose and what is cymose type of inflorescence. So in racemose type of inflorescence, the main axis continues to grow. The flowers are borne laterally in an acropetal succession. So in racemose type of inflorescence, what we see, the floral axis. So this is the floral axis upon which these flowers they are getting born. So on this, the length of the floral axis or the growth of this floral axis, it will be unlimited. It will keep on growing, and new flowers they will produce on lateral side of the floral axis in acropetal manner. So what is the meaning of acropetal manner? So if the older ones or the old flowers will remain present at the base and younger flowers will remain present at the apex, then this type of arrangement is known as acropetal arrangement. So I hope that racemose inflorescence is clear. So in racemose inflorescence, the main floral axis continues to grow and the flowers are borne laterally in an acropetal succession. So we have to keep in mind that in racemose inflorescence there will be unlimited growth of floral axis. It will keep on growing. Now the second type of inflorescence, which is the cymose type of inflorescence. In cymose type of inflorescence, the main axis terminates in a flower, hence is limited in growth. The flowers are borne in a basipetal order. So in cymose type of inflorescence, what we are seeing, that the main axis or the floral axis, it will terminates in a flower, hence it is of limited growth, and the flowers are borne in basipetal manner. Basipetal means the older ones will remain present at apex and the younger ones they will remain present towards the base. So such type of arrangement of flower is known as basipetal. So this is the diagram of cymose inflorescence. In cymose inflorescence, the floral axis, the tip of the floral axis, it will terminate into flower and new flowers will develop. So this is the basic difference between the racemose and cymose inflorescence. So in racemose inflorescence, you can see that the floral axis, this is the floral axis. So this floral axis, it is of unlimited growth and new flowers are getting born laterally, and the arrangement of flower is acropetal in nature. But on the other hand, in cymose type of inflorescence, the floral axis, the tip of the floral axis, it will terminates into flower. So such type of inflorescence is known as cymose inflorescence, and the arrangement of flower is in basipetal manner. So simple straightforward question will come in your exam, that write any two difference between racemose and cymose inflorescence. Then what should be your answer? So in racemose inflorescence, the floral axis is of unlimited growth, but in cymose axis, the floral axis is of limited growth. The tip of the floral axis, it will terminates into flower. Second difference we can write, in racemose inflorescence, the arrangement of flower is in acropetal manner, but in cymose inflorescence, the arrangement of flower is in basipetal manner. So this much only in this video. In next video we will discuss about the flower. Thank you. Have a nice day.